See you in a minute. Alright. Should be hearing me. Some wonderful background music provided by Laguna Munta. How are you folks doing this Friday? Hope you're doing well. I'm tired, but ready. I'm here. Ready to enjoy some quality comic talk. I'm Cody Fernandez, creator, writer at Jack Iron Steel Cowboy, and founder of IronVerse Comics, a weird Western universe where the dead man's walk is eternal. So I'm just gonna be a minute. I'm reshooting out the links. I want to get some folks in here if anybody's interested. Enjoy the tunage while I continue going there. Oh, nice. Perfect. The person I wanted here is here. That's Laguna Munta himself right there. Looks like maybe my stream's doing what it's supposed to too then. That's very good. Yeah, it says I got a viewer. Maybe that's you, Laguna. Right on. Yeah. Got this set up. Trying it out for a little bit. Seeing how it works. So, yeah, it's another Friday out there. Let's see here. You can tell. Let's see. I got my chat working here. I've got the viewer count working on the top left. There's a subscriber too. If anybody comes in and subscribes, I'm very curious if that works. Yeah. So just keep back and keep listening, and let's see if I can wrangle some more folks up in here. Turn it up a little bit for the last bit. Again, anybody just joining us, this is the incredible theme song by Laguna Munta. I don't know the vocal balance. Knock it down a little bit there while I'm talking. I'm still figuring out how to wrangle this whole thing. Seems to be working alright. I got the slideshow working. I got the audio working as far as I can tell. I'm unsure. I think so. I'm seeing it being captured, so I'm assuming it's there. So maybe I got this. That would just be great. Alright. Sounds good. Alright. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and pause the music there. Yeah. So, I'm glad this is working. I'm glad it sounds good. Didn't have too much of an agenda tonight. There wasn't any direct questions asked from when I was asking for them. I'll probably go through the basic pitch of IronVerse Comics, get it on this better looking format here. I try and do these live streams every Friday. So far, I've made it a month worth of Fridays, and hopefully it'll keep improving as I keep going. The goal with these is so that I can always keep in touch with anybody who has questions about our work. I think adding a voice and the ability to add some kind of personality to a work is kind of key these days to having any sort of lasting connection with a reader or a listener or a viewer, whatever kind of artistic medium you're trying to put out there and make successful. So for anybody watching this later or just joining us or somehow found me randomly, I'm Cody Fernandez. I've been working in comics, at least being able to fund the creation and then find a publisher for the comics for about a year now. So you're getting it from a newbie who had to kind of dive in. You're getting info from somebody who had to really just kind of dive in out of there, but was lucky enough to be able to dive in and at least swim for a while. We're going to see how long that'll last, but issue number 1 of Jack came out last year physically to our domestic backers. International still waiting for issue number 2 to print. Issue number 1 got a lot of acclaim. Jack is a story of an immortal cowboy. This immortal cowboy happens to also be burdened with quite a few past life experiences. They almost could number uncountably if you were to sit there and if he was to sit there and try and work through and count them all. Yeah, so let's see here. Sorry this one's so rambling. I'm more tired than usual. Been a long day. Getting this working and such. I think I will throw something on and give me another break and see if I can get something going here for you folks. This is another track by Laguna Muta, also from his Jack Irons pair. This one's tentatively called Jack's Ride. Go ahead and listen and enjoy. I'll be back before it's over. Alright, yeah, here I am, I'm back. Yeah, I already got a downvote, I don't blame folks. I'm definitely rambling tonight. And yeah, I didn't have too much to say. I was really hoping folks would show or have some questions. But since not, I can use this as just a testing stream, it looks like, tonight, and that's just fine. Just testing the grounds, got all the looks like I can get audio to work, which is great. So I can use the wonderful audio tracks that fans and friends have created to help support it, which is just great. And I can also put out other tunes, or any kind of recording or whatever. But anywho, I'm gonna go ahead and pause that. I think I might have to just call it. I don't seem to have the energy, which is kind of disappointing, but when you don't have much of a direction, I guess that's what happens. But I am glad I have this set up. for another time that there may or may not be more interest. I can, let's see. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and audio sounds pretty good. You hear a sort of a high-pitched tone. That could be from this cruddy mic. That would be my guess. I'm kind of hearing it too, unless that high-pitched tone stopped when I put out the music, turned off the music. I know this mic's not great. This mic is crud, and I think even the input that the mic plugs into is a little wonky on the PC I'm streaming from. So that will happen. I am glad it sounds all right. It should be a direct stream from what my computer's outputting though with the music, which is good. Do a couple odd things like this is the Cactus Coyote track, which not many people have heard. I guess I can do that for a minute. Check it out. It's called On the Run. It's by the Jukebots. You'll see. You'll see as we continue putting out Cactus Coyote. It's a fun track, though. All right, yeah. It goes from there for a little bit, but it's a little bit wonkier, and this isn't the one I had cut, the back half. But right on. Oh, hey Dan. Thanks a lot. I'm just happy I'm figuring this out a little bit. You guys aren't seeing me. I got it to the point where you guys are just seeing the screenshot and stuff, and you'll see in chat and the viewers, and you're not seeing me dance around figuring out how this works. With Laguna's permission, I might put on another track of his in the background off of his debut album, I will say. If he agrees, throw me a track, brother, and I'll play some of your music, so at least know I have your rights. Otherwise, I can continue looking through. I have a few that are a little sketchy that I want to put maybe in the background a little bit quieter. But if people want to actually listen while I'm figuring this out, yeah, you're down. Right on, brother. I'm gonna go ahead and throw on this one. Music video is actually on YouTube. If you'd like to check out Laguna's work, give me a second. I'll drop that on in chat. This is called Every Time I Blink. Enjoy.
It all gone wrong. I felt out of place in a house built like mine, wearing what looked like my clothes and a watch telling me for a millionth time things are strange. Am I who you think? Feeling rearranged every time I blink. Every time I blink, every time I blink. Seeing things that I should remember from long ago. Names and dates that slip away, not sure of what I know. When did we paint the walls? Did they always look like that?
All right. Can't not interrupt the music. Sorry, folks. I got to. I don't know. I know YouTube sometimes flags even creators' own music, so I got to be a little careful, just in case some hook catches it. But nonetheless, I never got the video. I go ahead and say I'm gonna go ahead and link you to it, and then I never link you to it. That's me being a tease. I'm gonna go ahead and get that. I shouldn't be that kind of tease.
Things that would have made me cry can only make me laugh. Everyone's staring at me with expressions unattached. I'm who I've always been. My world's been mixed and matched. Been here too long. I've gone too deep. This is where I woke up, baby, but now where I went to sleep. Throw out a line, I'm on the break. Shifting out of phase every time I blink. Every time I blink. Every time I blink.
Laguna's gonna love me coming in at the solo, but yeah, I gotta keep this going here. But it's good to have the music to give me a break while I'm trying to get the info out here. Anybody in chat, any kind of questions, even as basic as what the hell you're doing here? I work good. I work much better off of prompts than off the top of my head. And not only would I appreciate it, but I'm pretty sure the stream would. And thank you all for being here, supporting IronVerse Comics. Laguna for providing the bitchin' soundtrack that's keeping me going. And yeah, that was Every Time I Blink by Laguna Muta. Video link to his awesome home video. What the hell am I doing here? Very apt thought, Wicked. Link to his music video up there, right there in chat, right there on screen too, hopefully. But I don't think you can click that one. Looks like the chat box is working up there. I don't know if the concurrent viewers is working, but it very well might be. I'm not gonna complain. I know the slideshow is. That's cool. When I was trying it earlier before I went live, it wasn't going through as many pictures as I wanted to, but this time it looks like we're good, which is awesome. I'm going to go ahead and put something else in the background there. Yeah, just ignore the talking. It doesn't matter. Go ahead and turn it down good. Keep it nice and low. Oh, well, thank you, Laguna. That's not bad. Why comics? I would assume overall as any kind of other creative endeavor. For me, it's a combination of a few things. It's really easy to find. Well, not really easy. It's the collaborative nature puts different kinds of pressure on me, where I can take that kind of pressure, whereas a non-collaborative art, I have it's all on me to do something. It's a little bit harder for me to get it done if it is such. So the collaborative nature is one. And two is writing for comics is a lot less boring for me than writing prose because I just have to describe the picture in my head each scene. Instead of the movement and the flow so much. Especially with how so far we've done Jack 1 and Jack 2. With that, we do what I call modified Marvel style of scripting. It might just be the Marvel style. It might have a different name. I don't know. I'm a novice. I've only been doing this semi-professionally as a very large hobby for about a year, but I've been working on Jack for a decade, so it kind of tells you where I am, folks. But with that, it's easy to lose your train of thought and have to continue to keep speaking to continue the stream here. Lost my point, but part of it is that the modified Marvel style, whatever I'm calling it. I write a simple script. Maxie takes that script and actually makes decent pages out of them, changing panel size or layout or adding or subtracting panels, making splash pages, doubling pages, any of that. Whatever he thinks the scene I was describing or the flow would benefit, he has full reign on. And then after that, I go in and then I put the more harder worked on dialogue and try to fix the flowing and pacing and such in the writing onto the art so that you get a full, nice flowing pace to the comic. At least hopefully. First one, a little bit of pacing issues. One of them was intentional, so that's good, but it was very jilted, jumping from scene to scene. Issue 2 has that as well, but I'm hoping we fixed it, or at least it's much clearer. And I'm I'm extremely happy with how issue 2 is coming out. We just got the 8 of the extra pages in. So all the pinups are mounted and ready to go in the back of the book, and we got the credit page for the pinups, and we got my thank you page for backers and readers all set up. And Zero Fox, our logo guy, man, he's knocking it out of the park for it. It's classy. It fits with issue 1 also because we kind of had to just put it on a black background, so it gives a continuity between the issues, which I like a lot too. And it just looks good. He did a really good job on them. I'm looking forward to the concept art pages. That's what we're waiting on. I think there's gonna be let's see, there's 8 there, so there's gonna be like 6 pages of concept art, I believe, to do still. That sounds right. Yeah, 14. Yeah. Should be 6 pages of concept art to still do that from issue 1 and 2 that we're gonna put in the back there, so you guys can see some of our development process too. Give you a nice fat book for issue 2, a nice 48 pager. Thanks, Laguna. We got another question too. Would I cast Jack in a movie? Or who would I cast Jack as? Or who would I cast as Jack? Yeah, see how tired I am, folks. I am just stumbling all over, and this is the time I'm not doing a drinking live stream, so that should tell you something, I guess. I don't know. Who would I cast? I brought this up a few times. Or it's been brought up a few times, and I think I've brought it up a few times. It's a difficult one. It would have to be somebody who could really let go of being who they are and kind of try and exist as many different random kind of people as they can at once, and then filter that through a cowboy. That'll be interesting, because that's what would differentiate Jack from, say, the Man with No Name or a lot of other generic just a good guy, or even he's a gray hat cowboy, because he's not the greatest. He's not going out of his way to save the world, at least so far in the story. He's very much just part of it, and very not doing as much as he can because he's very lost himself. And that may develop later, but it would be a very tough role to honestly portray. Like, I don't even know if I can do it very well in the writing, and Team IronVerse Comics tries very hard with the comics to put the mood and the tone to it, at least, so that's where I would start. But I've said Josh Brolin before simply because he's got the Jonah Hex and the Thanos, and he's got that. He's got the pedigree and he's got the experience and he can do the voice and he's even got the look. He just need to have longer hair than Jonah Hex, and that's really it. Just a big red scarf and some armor and shit. Kind of look like Cable too, which is kind of funny. So it would be hard not to say him, especially by the time it could be made. Josh would be old enough to kind of really portray it, I think. But yeah, I don't know. That would be a first thought. There's others who maybe could. I've even thought of Bruce Campbell. Also could do one depending on the tone they're going for, which kind of Jack they're going for, because the character and the universe lends itself to very many tones. So yeah, I don't know. Clint, Scott. I've been suggesting Scott Eastwood. He's got the look, no question. He'd have to get bigger. That's one thing too. Josh is kind of comes off as a big guy, even though I don't think he's that big of a guy. But yeah, you need a big, mean, and tough guy. He's very true. There's probably a couple wrestlers or something that could do it body-wise and like stance-wise, but I don't know if they could actually act. The Rock, if he could actually be serious, but at this point, I don't think people can take him as anything but this larger-than-life thing, so I don't know if that would work. Jack needs a grounding in life. It's very hard. If you disconnect that, he loses a lot of his power, his impact. Yeah, I don't know. It sounds like, so that's been in the background, huh? Let me turn that down. And go on up here. And I will put on, we'll put that on. Right, Laguna. The Rock, it would be a makeup job too, a little bit. You'd kind of need more gruff. He'd need to get the beard. The arms are always covered, so the tats wouldn't matter. I don't know. It would be a hell of a thing. Again, it would be up to whoever actually does that. I know more and more they're actually getting comic book writers to write the comic book movies, so that's kind of nice. Not that they're getting the best people in the comics industry to write those comic movies, but they are starting to get them, period, which is good. I'm pretty happy about that. So who knows? I could be involved, and if I'm involved, I'll do what's best at the time. Can I smell the dystopian future? Yeah, it smells like fucking fire and brimstone and a lot of asphalt and burnt rubber. Oh shit. That's pretty funny. Yeah, could you smell what the dystopian future is cooking? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think it could work out of a lot of things. Especially again at the time he'd be older too. It might work. I have no idea. It's just funny to speculate. That's for sure. How many proto beers could I chug in a sitting? Huh? Me? I've never really tried to chug beer. I guess what it was, Laguna could attest. It was a birthday a while back, and they were Irish car bombs. So that's the time I've chugged beer. So it wasn't. It's not a fair, it's not a fair approximation, but because it was beer, then a big shot of whiskey and Irish cream. So not quite the same, but that was 2 or 3, and I was smashed. I think it was 2 of those, and then there might have been a beer or 2 in between that. It was, yeah. And that's been a long time, though. That's been a long time. I certainly don't do that anymore. Yeah, a little bit. Wicked, for sure. For sure. Alright, give me a minute, and I am going to take a shot of whiskey. See how that goes. And I am switching to Laguna Muta again, just so I don't get that nice copyright strike right when the beat drops. Enjoy money, people. Famine Inc. is a proud sponsor of Money People. Famine Inc., where your suffering is our goal, our product, and our way of life.
Some people have all the fun popping champagne and pills. I just like to keep things together, that's good enough for me. Some people want a maid and $1 million too. I just want $2,000 in 3 days and you would see what I could do. Oh, it all just sounds so simple, but nothing's for free. Gotta get me a portfolio and someone to manage it. Get told by a man in a suit about all the good things I can get. Talk about buying a mansion, I'd have enough for two. But that's just a money thing that money people do. That money people do. Say it away! I've got a new lease on life, you got a lease on your car. Yeah, it's really looking nice, but you could drive it far. But it's just another thing hanging over your head.
Alright, back. Alright, that's done. And here we go.
No, it don't look like the prettiest thing, but I own it in full. And I won't be
You know, I'm gonna have to,
till the day I'm through.
I'm gonna have to put a Laguna Muta sticker on here, part of this banner. I think I can, but I'll do it for next time. Because I do plan on using Laguna's excellent jack tracks for quite some time. And if he'll let me use his music as this is, helps a little bit, that's for sure. I mean, just listen to Rock That Hard. I can't say no. Alright. Yeah, that was Money People. Alright. So that is, not to go against the message of the song there, but as always, you can support IronVerse Comics and our growing brand and growing effort to make a new space for a strong weird Western series in comics, and not just one series, a set of weird Western titles in comics. Be one of the first. It would probably be the first time that's been done. The closest thing to IronVerse Comics that's come out, period, that I've seen. There's one character I'm not very well researched on. In fact, so much I don't even remember his name so much. I think he's called Immortal Man. He's a DC character. He has the look and the immortal thing, but everything else is different. And then there was Hex, the 1985 DC Comics series that took Jonah Hex and threw him into a Mad Max dystopian future. And that was a huge inspiration for Jack. But it lasted 16 issues. I'm finally happy to say I collected all of them. It took me a long time to get them. Mostly art by Mark Texeira. I forgot the writer. But it's a fun series. The concept's fun, and Jonah's great. I still got to work in a Holy Hannah at some point, and Jack is an homage. But going through them, it's a... they didn't really know what to do with it. And IronVerse Comics is very different. We know exactly where we're going and what we're working for. And once we get there, the sky's the limit for us or whoever works with us. So I'm very very pleased to continue steps towards that with having three books out. Technically, well, not 3 books out, 2 books out. Jack #1 and Cactus Coyote, the manga. Both free to read on Tapas in black and white if you'd like. Just look up IronVerse Comics and then space TAPAS, and I'm pretty sure you'll find my page, and then you can click on either and find it. Both have soundtracks also. One has a theme that was played earlier on this live stream for Jack #1, and Cactus Coyote also has his on there. So yeah, it's fun. It's fun to put out the web comics and give people a place to check it out for free, and hopefully support what we're doing. And let me go up here and check what's going on in chat. Nothing. That's perfectly fine. I'm going to go ahead and put on a different tune. This one will not be Laguna Muta, though. You guys will probably recognize it. But it should just be in the background, so it might be okay. It's nothing super popular. In fact, it's a cover of something that's not super popular. That's how I'm hoping I get around these arbitrary rules of when fair use is implied or not. But yeah, who the hell knows? Let's keep it nice and low and keep talking, and it should be okay because the sound waves won't match, and then their little bot will have more trouble. Which piece, Wicked? The one before was Jack, was the final panel of issue #1, and this is for something to come in issue #2, which I don't want to spoil directly or too hard. I've talked about it a lot on live stream, so anybody who's kind of kept up with IronVerse Comics and my presence will know what we're doing there. But that doesn't mean I want to do it every time until I know we've got it ready. Like Cactus Coyote, it took me a while, but we knew we were going to do something, so I did it quite a bit. This is another thing. If you were talking about the crouched man. Yeah, you know, there's the bar there, Cody's. I originally Maxie wanted to draw me as the unfortunate listener in issue 1 through probably 5, but in issue 1 and 2, it's the same unfortunate listener. He wanted a picture of me to kind of draw me as him, but he ended up doing this kind of more generic fat trucker guy, and I like him a lot. He's got no name, but he still obviously wanted to do something about that, so he put a big neon sign on it without telling me, calling the bar Cody's, and yeah, I didn't complain. I think it's cool, and I like that kind of the spot that Jack's telling this whole tale through is a bar named after me by the artist anyway. In lore, I can make it so much more epic if I want to get arrogant about it. Who knows? It might be marketable to do so later on, but don't know yet. All right, so I don't know if that viewer count is correct up in the left. It could be. I think there's at least 2, but there might just be the 1. But just curious because it would be nice to be able to look at that viewer count up in the top left and know it's accurate. But I have no idea, so I'm just gonna go ahead and turn that down. Because if any part of that's gonna get me copyright struck, it's that part. Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, I'll leave that there. Okay, right on. Yeah. So I don't know how long I've been going here. Let me look on a panel you guys can't see. Okay. At the moment, it says I've got. Yeah. I've got. Thank you, Dan. Thanks for letting me know. If you'd like to subscribe, it would give me a chance to see if my little subscribe button pops up on this new live stream interface. But if you're already subscribed, don't worry about it. Just thanks for being here. So yeah, there's at least 3 of you. Thank you guys. Right on, Dan. I'm glad it's helping. I have the right to share a few of these because the creator and every part of it's right here in the chat with you. But some of them I gotta be a little bit more careful on because they're mainly just thematic. So I'm gonna go ahead and go to another Laguna track and take a breather. You enjoy the songs.
Comes on the way, got the black top on the run, loaded out, headed up, and it's only just begun. I finally found my road, I like where it's headed. I finally found my road. Just a hop, another stop, and then the place they call my name. Say hello, play a show. I hope to come this way again. I finally heard my song. It's been playing all along. I'm on the way.
Yeah, that was me coming back in. Go ahead, fart all over the solo here. Well, thank you for joining me, folks. I'm glad this is going. You know, a couple people here. All right, I got your message, brother. No worries, will do. Will do. But yeah, that's some homegrown New Mexico rock and roll right here. I'm glad to be part of it, marrying some classic homegrown New Mexican rock and roll with some homegrown New Mexican comic art. It's good stuff, good stuff. The hardest part, Wicked asks, what's the hardest part of about creating comics? There's a lot that's hard, and there's different kinds of hard. Like the continuous grind, that's one kind of hard, but you can get into that groove. You just keep doing it, and it becomes second nature. But it's still a grind. It's still hard. It doesn't feel great. But besides that, besides the constant grind of what this is, with indie comics and creator-owned comics and small press comics, there's not a marketing budget. It's just people are working hard to try and get that book in front of people. So that's part of it. So you got to work really hard on that angle. That's what I'm doing tonight. What I'm doing right now. That's kind of hard. Hey, Alterion. Thanks for showing up. Always glad to see somebody new, and I'm glad my new format's kind of working. Would you guys let me know if that sub count or that concurrent viewer count seems right? For me, I'm seeing just a 1 up on the top left, so that can't be right. If you guys are seeing a different number, let me know. But if it's just a 1, then I'm gonna just say fuck it to that that little widget. If it's not gonna work, I don't need it. But anywho, so marketing, that's real hard. I also made this harder on myself just to get it done. And going into it not without having everything planned, or everything at least kind of in a box and ready to be pulled out and adapted as needed. I just kind of jumped into the pool, didn't know what kind of temperature it would be or any of that. It's been working good. I mean, we're getting it done, and I'm really excited for our next steps after getting these books out, and I'm even more excited to get number 2 out into people's hands and see what they think. I'm really proud of the work our team did. It's absolutely wonderful. Oh, I see what it is. So you all are the same conglomerate, and YouTube just counts you as one viewer. Okay, I got it. All right. So it's just the hive mind kicking in. I'm pretty sure every sub count will just say 1 now. Got it. Freaking Legion. But yeah, that's difficult. It's not so hard if you really love what you're trying to do and what you are accomplishing. That so far has far outweighed the negatives, and there's been a lot. I've had some very unpleasant things, and the state of the comic industry and indie comics is what I should have expected for any business, any kind of industry, but you know, I'm still a young man. It took me, I didn't know what the overall bit would really feel like, and it's as dark and dirty as you'd expect it to be, and it's lesser for it, but there's plenty of people out there keeping that light and keeping the hope and keeping it looking fun and engaging, and that's what I'm trying to be part of. That's why I'm doing this kind of stuff. Okay, now you guys got me confused. Part of the crew, part of the ship. Listen, I'm not saying Stellaris is nonfiction, but that's what I'm saying. Okay. I haven't played Stellaris, but I'm aware of it. It kind of makes sense. It's kind of funny. There's a Legion, huh? Part of the crew, part of the ship. Nice. I'm pretty sure that's Firefly. Yeah, maybe not. I don't know. It's certainly true in Futurama. When they're trying to, you know, the crew that gets eaten by the space whale in Futurama, you become part of the space whale. And therefore you're part of the crew, part of the ship. But I don't know. Could be just Pirates of the Caribbean, too. There's just too much pop culture out there for me to have it all in head. But thank you guys. Thank you guys for being here. Now I know that one that might actually move when I'm moving it. So I'm going to put that right here. It's going to make it all huge. Wait a minute. Yeah, that's a liar right there. That is a liar. Just a big liar. But that's okay. That's okay. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of move it over there. Try and shrink it. Oh, I'm moving the wrong things now. Yeah. Whoa. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, this is what I call a ramshackle stream. It is cobbled and it is completely unprofessional. But I'm trying. And you folks are humoring me. Best I could hope for. That's for sure. Haha, I did get it to move. Right on. I'm glad that actually moves. It's just great. Laguna Munta says, I'd like to see a Super Nintendo Jack shoot 'em up. There's so many variations. The thing I'd like to see that they're all feasible. What I need is a pixel quite a few frames of pixel art for Jack. So I need a pixel artist. And then you just make those into a bunch of GIFs or whatever, and then you can give those to developers, and there's even easy game kits and shit. But it's above my pay grade, I'll tell you. I hope there's something like that. I would love a 16 or 32-bit, or I think 16-bit, even though they were 32-bit consoles. I don't remember what that is. But Super Nintendo and Genesis era kind of style pixel art Jack side scroller would be a hell of a lot of fun. The Immortal bit would make it kind of cheap, but then we just make it really hard to find ammo and shit, so it's a lot of beat 'em up. Maybe there's some stealth, or you can just try and walk through and beat up everybody. Jack's got a lot of limits. It would be very hard to lose. You just don't want to get captured. Yeah, that's about it. You just don't want to get captured. That would be how you lose. Jack faces an eternity of capture if he's captured. He could probably Batman his way out, or Mr. Miracle his way out of most situations eventually. But say a cave in, yeah, he's not getting out of that. Or just dropped in space without any momentum. He's probably not getting out of that either. That kind of thing. But yeah, no, that'd be great. I can only hope. Well, good to hear, Alterion. I'm glad. That's all you can do. And just keep it doing what you're doing. Yeah, and Unity is a great development kit. I've stepped into modding. I've never gone into development or anything on that end of gaming. I've done a lot of modding, mainly in Bethesda games. In fact, I just started again New Vegas and starting New California for the first time. The New California mod, and it's been a lot of fun so far. But yeah, I haven't come across. It would take funding. That's really all that these kind of things take, and funding takes enthusiasm, and enthusiasm takes work to cultivate, and takes quality to cultivate. So working on it. We'll see what we can do. Comics first. One of the problems with the industry today is that they're hiring and supporting creators whose only goal is to make those steps up. So I don't even call it steps up. I think there's just more money, so maybe you call it step up. But you're writing comics to get the movie deal. You're not writing comics to write Infinity Gauntlet or to write something epic that'll stick in people's hearts and souls forever. You're just writing so that something else can get made and you can make that paycheck and get all that fame and accolade and feed yourself. Both bad things and good things, but comics first. We'll see how far. If I can get through the first arc of Jack, and that's all this world gives me, I'll be pretty happy. If we can get through Jack, if we can get through Tracker, Lady Silverado, Cactus Coyote, and the Golden Monk, if they can all get an arc, I'll be super stoked. If they can all get 2 arcs, then I think we can get to space, and then there'll be a lot of options. And at that point, if we had the ability to make all of that happen, we should be at a place that the next steps are easy, and they could be really cool next steps and really fun ideas. And just gotta hope and keep working and try and get ourselves in front of people and seeing if they like weird Western, both wacky and very serious philosophical thought, and see if they enjoy engaging it and supporting it and carrying on this journey with Team IronVerse. I certainly do. I'm going to keep doing that as long as I can, but every hand that says, yeah, I like that too, it makes it that much easier for me. I appreciate that. Yeah, New California so far is fun. I haven't gotten out of the vault in New California yet, though. So if you knew how far that is in most Fallout games, you know that's not very far. It's got me looking for some switches. I'm not stoked about looking for switches. Fallout games, I modded the hell out of it, so it's also got a nice ENB shader modification on it, so the lighting system's gorgeous, closer to Xbox One kind of lighting. But anyway, a lot of games like that, if I'm stuck in a small space with a lot of the same texture, it gives me a headache real easy. And so it takes me longer to get through them. I got to get through them in bite-sized chunks. But I'm enjoying that so far. I'm glad. Man, I had like 90 hours on my last modded save, and I had to just give it up to do this new one. And the last one was so clunky, but I had put 90 hours on this character, so it was very sad to see it go. But the more you play on a modded save and you're adding mods and testing and shit, the more corrupted, unstable the save gets. So eventually it was going to happen. This one should be nice and clean. I should be able to play it for a long time, so excited about that. I love New Vegas, and it's going to be hard for them to come close to topping New Vegas, especially with what they did in 76. But if Bethesda wants to talk about doing a Jack Irons new Deadwood DLC spin-off, or anybody in the modding community, you know who to talk to. I'm right here. That'd be great. But yeah, again, future holds whatever the future holds. It'll take some time to get there. Again, want to thank everybody for being here. The single conglomerate viewer that is the IronVerse Comics fandom at the moment. I appreciate that. That's a good... Okay, so Laguna says, I write to fulfill my creative drive and hope to inspire others to do the same. What about you? Yeah, that's... So what it is with Jack, and why it's kind of a nostalgia trip as a series, and as IronVerse Comics is what it is. It is a nostalgia trip. What I grew up with and what got me through and inspires me still, from childhood to teenagehood to adulthood, I want to pay that forward and make sure that cycle continues. And not only that, but pass forward what I liked and put my own spins and make it fun and enjoy myself, and hopefully others do that too. And that would be just killer. And yeah, Laguna, I know you and I could get a test are most certainly have inspired me to continue my creation, and I hope I've kind of started to reciprocate it, even though if it took a little bit longer to get there. It's a hell of a journey out here in life, and I find creation the most valuable part of it, because of everything that surrounds that act and everything that act facilitates. I find it very important, and it helps give me purpose. Wicked Publishing says, a Red Dead mod waiting to happen. Yeah, right? I trolled Rockstar when Red Dead 2 came out for a little while to do that. But then Red Dead Online, which is the only place you could kind of come close to at least living out your false Jack Irons in the Old West experience, is more trolly than GTA Online. So in terms of monetization. So it's just kind of puts a damper on everything, but you know that's how it goes. It's hard out there, but it's good too. It's more opportunity than ever before if you can leverage it. So I can't complain. It's what I'm trying to do right now. But yeah, no, Rockstar. I tried. I found that most anything with a check mark. If it's a company, you have a chance of being seen, but like most people, you're not going to be seen. So it's kind of a waste of energy unless you're trying to be seen by other people commenting on that. You're not going to be seen by that person almost 95% of the time. So you just got to do what you got to do. You just got to do what you got to do to get yourself out there and earn something out of it. Again, what I'm trying to do now. See how long we've been going. I don't want to keep everybody forever. Nearly an hour. We got about 45 seconds. I could end it at that hour, or I could stay. I don't mind staying, but I would Thanks, Wicked. I just got the retweet your tweet there. Thank you for the promotional. Appreciate that. Yeah, I could end it, but you know what? I'll try and see if I can go another half hour. The other streams went 3 hours and 4 hours apiece, so if I can get to 2, I think that's where it needs to be, where people at least consider checking it out. Yeah, see right now, yeah, it's the widget that is wrong, because in my stream thing in YouTube, it says there's 4 of you, and I God bless all of you. Thank you for being here. But the fucking chat button says there's one single viewer, and maybe it thinks it's me, or maybe it's attached to the wrong URL, so it thinks something else is open. I don't know. I'm no professional. I'm just trying random stuff and seeing if it works, and I just kind of laid this out. So there's something there that you can see and kind of look through. It's more interesting than my other streams where it was just kind of me fumbling and you looked at my desktop. I'll tell you that much. Yeah, never-ending wheel. That's the thing. A lot of what life's been amounted to by a lot of historical context is toil, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think working is building and growing, so there's nothing wrong with that. It's just it's tough. It's tough. It's supposed to be a struggle. If you have it too easy, I think it makes you a shit person. So I'm blessed by both the struggle and the luck I've been given, and hopefully I can continue to manifest some comic books for people to look at the pretty words and pretty pictures and say, hey, that guy was worth that $1. Because that'll keep me eating. And I like food. Food is good. Thank you, Alterion. Let's see. What do you tell your family about working on comic or similar media? What do I tell my family? So I have a very small family. And I really didn't start working on the comic till at least one of the big pillars of my family was gone. So it's basically 1 to 4 people. Really, it's not many people. They're just happy I'm doing something and that it's being enjoyed. And Lacuna can attest that he at least enjoys the art. And he's seen issue 1. He's still waiting on his issue 1 because I screwed him a little bit by telling him not to get on the go-go, thinking I'd get my issues sooner, be able to redistribute this sooner. But naivete and ignorance leads to poor decisions. So during the public printing, we're going to get him some copies, but it's little things like that. There's a lot of people like coworkers and stuff. They want to see the book. There's a lot of that. So it's usually a good thing. I don't have to tell them anything like I've had to confide because there's hard days out there. Particularly socially and culturally, there's very hard days out there when you're trying to be an artist, and that's the harder part to convey, I guess. But I have tried to convey it. So that's some of what I've told family. You just like any other experience or hobby or whatever. That's how I go about it. Just with more of an emphasis on its importance to me. That's all. That would be the difference. But yeah, it's certainly something I enjoy and love seeing. I can test all the beautiful images you guys have gotten to see during this live stream in the background there with that slideshow I'm doing. All of that came from some silly teenage idea of mine that I made sure happened. And I was lucky enough to have opportunity to make happen. And I've been able to get to the point where I basically just profited off of it. I paid back most of the debts. I've paid all the artists. It's a good thing. It feels good when you can make something and then return the state that allowed it to create back to its original null zero level. And we're getting there with Jack's first campaign, and I'm super excited about that. Really good stuff. Yeah, I don't do art. in issue number 2, and I've posted it on Twitter, I think, before too. I've done the original concept for Jack, which is what I drew. And I'm not that great of an artist, but it's fun enough. And I had to get the idea down. I think it helped make him happen. It gave me something physical to look at and then grasp at and work with later, even though it was kind of odd. And it's very different than the Jack we know today. But maybe later on it won't be. Who knows? There's a lot of ways to go. I am just excited to keep going, and I'm very appreciative that I'm able to. I'm going to put on another Laguna track so I can take another break for a second, folks. I think I'm going to pick Gotta Have You. And enjoy. I'll be right back. Well, I don't know how right back. Minute or two, folks. Give me a minute. I'm going to maybe eat. Maybe take a bite of pizza. I don't know. Something. Enjoy. Every time I gotta have you. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Do you have an idea? Want me to show you how I can take you on a trip to a place you've never been? Don't look so frightened, don't look so scared. Every last little detail has been prepared. Gonna take you to the moon, my love, and we'll never come back again. I cannot explain, yet the fear remains that I gotta have you. Oh, I'm not playing a game. I feel I'm going insane without you. Oh, say goodbye to the planet, say hello to the stars. Everything that we wanted will be ours, but that don't really matter to me, 'cause all I want is you. Just trust me, baby, and take my hand. I'll be your one and only rocket man. Booked a tour of the universe, and it's only for two. I cannot explain, yet the fear remains that I love you. Oh, I'm not playing a game. I feel I'm going insane, 'cause I love you, girl. Another day through the dark and it's getting cold. Another trip through time.
All right, back.
I'm getting
Back.
old. Indicators are flashing now.
All right. Yep.
We'll find a nice planet to set her down. Making sure that we're the only ones around. We can start all over again.
All right. Well, Wicked asks, how did you get involved with your various artists? That's a fun tale. I got to get used to telling that one, because at least it's fun to tell. Because there's a stereotype, and it defies the stereotype. So it took a long time. I've had the scripts for Jack kicking around for a while, and so I was like 16 or 17, and then I was tweaking them for every once in a while. They kind of got put away for a few years, and they get looked at, tweaked, and then they get put away for a few years, looked at, tweaked. For a while there, and then I finally got a opportunity to hire an artist. I had a little bit of cash. And so, not knowing how this works, I just kind of jumped into it. I contacted quite a few artists directly, and usually got dicked around or way overquoted. Gave up for a while. Then I decided I better try a different approach. Let's try somebody local I can work with. So I tried Craigslist. And yeah, since I'm here talking, I didn't get stabbed. That was great. But Also, so what it was, I tried Craigslist and got put out an ad. I got one guy answered it, and that was Maxi Dallo. We were able to meet. He gave me his portfolio. It was absolutely amazing. We met at my local McDonald's, and we're able to talk and meet. That's a very rare thing that you in this day and age you can find an artist online and actually be able to meet them and work with them. So yeah, that happened. Met him. We hammered it out. I originally had concepts and stuff in this slideshow, but over a certain amount of pictures, it stopped showing all the pictures. So I had to limit the amount of pictures in there, which kind of bugs the hell out of me. But because I'd like to show some of the original concepts because they're different than how he came out. But issue number 2 in the back, you guys can see them. Hopefully, I think I set those aside. But yeah, it was. I met him. We talked about it, kind of agreed on a rate, and then we were able to meet the next day. And he had some concepts for me to kind of sign off on before we actually signed a contract, and we were able to sign the contract and such too. And then he went back home to Argentina. So I met him in a short window where he was in America. Which is a trip and a half, and I'm also meeting with him again. I met with him already once this summer that he's been back, and going to meet with him again before he goes back for issue 2, kind of finalize some stuff. But anywho, yeah, you just got to really claw in every direction, and hopefully reality will throw you a bone, and if you navigate correctly, you can take advantage of said bone. The Gudamuta says, not getting stabbed is tight. I agree. That's why I think we both picked McDonald's. If somebody gets stabbed at McDonald's, at least you're going to get stabbed on film. So, that's going to help a little bit. But yeah, no, it's some good stuff. It's some good stuff. I couldn't have hoped for a better artist, and though there's a gap, there's about a 4 or 5 year gap in between the line art and story, because my writing's changed a little bit too, for issue 1 and issue number 2. So visually, his art's adapted. It's changed. You guys will know this very well. A lot of it's in anatomy, which it's more striking, I think. And I don't know. The comics are very different, but it's a very natural progression, I think. And it took us, Team IronVerse, a long time to find the right colorist to step into Matthias Laborde's shoes. Matthias Laborde colored issue number 1 for us, and it's oh man, it's so pretty. It's such a pretty issue. So it was very hard to find a replacement due to work circumstances. He needed to get to a different job to make more money at the time, and it's just how it goes. But Stephen Cannon, or Kenyon, I think it's Cannon, he's exceptional, and paired to Maxi's new line art, this book is just it's I would hope most people are doing this, but when I went into this, it was to make the comic book I want to see out there. So that's what's happening, and I love it. It's gorgeous, it's striking, it's gritty, it's violent, it's gory, it's sad. It's the most beautiful apocalypse I think comics has seen, and that's a hell of a thing to say. I'm not including some. But if you include a whole package, it even beats some manga. So it's very. I don't know where I'd put on the entire scale of all of that, but Jack's certainly a hell of a rookie effort from a bunch of young indie artists. That's for damn sure. It's a hell of a showing, and I'm excited for us to get you issue number 2 so that we can maybe get to 3 and beyond. Yeah. So, with that, let me see what time it is. Well, we got another 15. I can do something with 15. What can I do with 15? Well, I don't want to do that. I don't trust myself. I've had the shot. I don't want to start adding stuff to this layout. I didn't mind moving it. Not hard to move it. Obviously, I haven't gotten any new subscribers, but subscribers, donations, all kinds of stuff would be in between the Jack Irons and Cactus Coyote thing over here. Even got custom gifts on it. I'm excited. I don't know if that's ever going to actually be triggered, but I'm excited to see it triggered. I actually want to change the sound effect so it's more of a Wild West kind of sound than what it is. But we'll get there. It'll take a little bit, but we'll get there. I'm going to go ahead and take another, 30-second break. You guys enjoy this cover of another dystopian franchise's main theme. Alright, back again. Alright. First to guess that movie's theme gets a no prize. Yeah, I don't think anybody is officially able to give out no prizes anymore, so why isn't everybody? I'm going to go ahead and give out a no prize to the first person in the chat to guess that movie theme. Right there. I mean, there's so many clues. It shouldn't be hard for the first person to get it. I'm just gonna say, and that's why this stream is skirting. It's skirting the. I'm gonna see what's doable and what's not. It's kind of what I'm doing because free to use music is the next step. So I'll go look for that. I just didn't find anything too easy, and there's a few custom Jack tracks, so that helps. In fact, go ahead and put one in the background again, because it's killer background music, too, actually. It's really moody. Some good stuff. Well, of course, Laguna gets it. I would hope so. So, you get an IronVerse no prize. It's literally as valuable as it was in Marvel, so I guess that's that's a benefit there. Yeah, I'm gonna let that. That's funny. I get to moderate that because you use the term dick. That's hilarious. Maybe because you use the term rapist too. But yeah, for anybody not aware, Jack is a mature title, very much in the vein of RoboCop at times. Very, very good on the strong gore and not so fun thematics to put forward the horror of the world you're following this character in. RoboCop is one of the original inspirations. A RoboCop reference made it into Jack Irons #1, in fact, because of it. A very blatant RoboCop reference, I hope. And yeah, it's one of those. It's one of my most familiar and favorite younger films. It was another thing that kind of stretched the boundaries of what was acceptable for the younger me, what I knew as acceptable, and what could be done within that for art. And that's kind of that specific expression with the very powerful gore and heavy thematics, but and a tragic hero. All of those carry over very much. I like those story themes a lot. RoboCop nailed it. And I like all the RoboCops. I think people hate on 3 the most. I like 3. They're all pretty good. Do I need more Jack music? Are you kidding? I actually thought, Laguna, of one of the few mods I made for Fallout New Vegas was a Laguna Muta radio station. It was a small slide guitar album he did that I put as a radio station. I couldn't find my copy of it that I had downloaded on my PC. It's here somewhere. I just don't know where I filed it. I was going to put that as possibly in the back here because they're very thematic as well, Laguna, if I could. It's some fun stuff too. It's just kind of ambiance with slide guitar, and it works. It works great. But besides that, Laguna, you know I do. I can get you. Well, we'll talk when I'm off air or something. But I know you need more inspiration, and it's about ready for you to check it out if you want. So we'll go from there, buddy. We'll go from there. Top 3 comics of all time. Define comics. Are we talking single issues, which I'm not so good at? Are we talking story arcs, which I'm okay at? Are we talking series, which I'm okay at? Runs? But overall, characters. There's a lot of ways to take comics. If it's single issues, God. I don't think I have a single issue that I'm just... Oh, yeah, I know. My favorite comic of all time. I do have one single issue. Give me a second, guys, and I'll... Oh, no, I have the cover printed and on my fucking wall. That'll do it. All right, it's a Punisher issue. It is Punisher Dark Reign #1 by Rick Remender. I forgot the guy's first name, Opeña, and I don't know the color's first name either, Brown. It's the issue where they put Punisher up against the Sentry as he tries to assassinate Norman Osborn for taking control of S.H.I.E.L.D. after Secret Invasion. The issue, the art is gripping and gritty and fast. The movement and action and pacing is great. Frank is standing up to a god, and he's standing up to a god as he would have to, as only the Punisher could. It's a wonderful issue. That's my favorite comic of all time. Single issue. I could read that again and again forever. I don't know if I have a second or a third, because single issues, it's harder for me to remember singles really well. So I guess the first, I'll put one in the slot as my favorite single issue, which would be Punisher Dark Reign #1. 2, I'll do my favorite arc of all time, which is Ghost Rider Roach Damnation by Garth Ennis and Clayton Crane. That was what got me into comics, and that's what will always keep me in comics, is the power of that art to my own psyche. I just the art, all of the art, the writing, every bit of it. I'm not just talking about Clayton Crane's amazing work, which is what really got me in wanting comics. You don't see that in movies, you don't see that in animation, you don't see that in games. No, you only see that in comics, and it's awesome. So that would be my #2, and my #3 would be my favorite, let's say single run of something. My favorite single isolated story, I guess is what I'd call it, which I would say is that's actually pretty tough. Why did I put myself in that? It's real tough. I'm gonna say I've read Batman Long Halloween a lot. I love Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale's work there. It's the perfect kind of Batman story for me. It's got just enough action, just enough intrigue, just enough crazy. The art style brings in the absurdity of Batman's world, but the story and the tone keep it grounded. It's a wonderful piece of work. So we'll do that as 3. I'll do that as 3. So 1 would be Punisher Dark Reign #1. 2 would be Ghost Rider Roach Damnation, the arc, and 3 would be that other thing I said that I'm forgetting already, because I am distracted. That's why. And yeah. Batman The Long Halloween. Yeah. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. I really enjoy that stuff. All right. 5 minutes, folks. If there's anything else you want to ask, now is the time. there's any more information you want out of IronVerse Comics or me as a creator or me as a person, now is your last chance till next week. Hopefully next week I'll have that viewer count button working correctly. You can probably expect more images. I'm going to try and figure out the image limit, see if I can increase them so that you guys don't get so bored seeing the same, very awesome, but the same art again and again. I looked at other widgets. There's not many that would matter at the moment, so this should be the basic setup if I can get that viewer button working for a little while, for the foreseeable future. I'm hoping to add more issue 2 stuff as that comes in to the slideshow as well. But again, I don't know the limit to the slideshow. I'd like to throw all the fan art in here too, and I only have a few pieces like this piece by Danku Artist that says "Howdy." Yeah, that's a Chibi Jack Irons. It's a fun piece. It's actually bigger and has a. It's got more to it, but anyway, I'm hoping this will work. I kind of enjoyed this. I feel a little bit more comfortable with a better looking setup. Some of it could be better, but it works. Got my chat. I'd like a video maybe in the middle. Once I get to that point, but yeah, we'll get there. Day at a time. So yeah, let me know now in chat or down at the bottom afterwards if you're watching this later in comments what you think about this. Is this format better? Did you like the music? Should I beware the music? If you have more experience at YouTube than me, any tips on that would be great, because I do like having it in the background. It's very helpful. Just for the tone, and it makes things less boring and gives me a chance here and there to take a breather when the brain train gets backed up and smashes into a fucking wall. That happens a lot. Yeah. So again, thank you everybody who's here and for coming out. I really appreciate it. I'm glad to be back up. Last week I had to stream through my laptop. The audio quality was a trip, and the whole stream was kind of awkward, and it was what it was, but I got it done. So now this is the fourth, and the fourth I've kind of got a more professional looking setup. I'm hoping we can keep this going. It's a start. I know people would rather maybe see a face or something, and who knows when and if I'll get there, but the next step would also be guests. I got to figure out how to make this work with Google Hangouts. I've had problems with that since the beginning, so once I can do that and add guests, this is going to be a hell of a thing I can do, because it won't rely just on me rambling and the very amazing people who show up and deal with that rambling in chat. That is just killer. I appreciate every single one of you, and I hope the music was the quality content you came here for, and that my content wasn't standing in front of it too much. Unlike the Jack train, the clocks don't always run on time for the brain train. I would say the brain train doesn't always get to its destination. The Jack train can get there late. That's what I've learned so far. But it's gonna get there, and that's what matters. But yeah, the brain train, it doesn't always get there. It just crashes, explodes. Every occupant, horrible things. Nothing worth describing to those thoughts. Yeah, I think this hasn't been too bad. Got about an hour and a half of content. Plenty of awesome folks showed up. Thank you so much again for showing up. Put on one more Jack Jam here in the back from Laguna Munta, and then I think we might leave it there. These songs have been repeated through the live stream, but since I've been interrupting them, screw it, deal with it and freaking enjoy them. It's wonderful, and I'm so excited to be able to bring this content to you folks. Thank you again for coming and supporting IronVerse Comics and Team IronVerse Comics and all the artists and creators doing their best to make Weird Western the future. A boom. All right, folks, I think that's going to do it. Again, thank you so much. I've been your host, Cody Fernandez with IronVerse Comics, bringing you some music from Laguna Munta and some IronVerse Comics news and discussion. I'll be doing this every Friday. You can check me out on Twitter, where I'll be posting the latest news as up to date as I can, and always be promoting IronVerse Comics. At cowboy_steel would be the handle. I recommend searching in Google and not within Twitter, as Twitter may have me shadow banned. You can also find us on Facebook. Just look up Jack Iron Steel Cowboy. Friend me and find the page for IronVerse Comics there. We also have a merch store on Teespring. Again, just look up IronVerse Comics merch. You should be able to find that. And thank you so much for coming. And let's see if I can end this with any sort of smooth transition. Again, love you all. Thank you so much. And I'll see you next week.